Okay, today I'm out in the woods. I'm hoping this is a pretty secluded spot. I haven't seen anyone coming through the woods yet here, and it rained last night, so the woods are wet. But I want to go over something today that you may or may not be aware of, and it's something that was devised in, I believe, 1966 in the U.S. by a married couple with their last names Cloward and Pivan. It's called the Cloward and Pivan strategy. And once I read this to you, and it's a little lengthy, so bear with me here, but I'll try to explain it and read it as clearly and as concisely as I can. But I kind of knew about it a little while ago. I didn't really give it much traction. I didn't really follow up on it. And I read through it briefly. I haven't read the whole thing, but I'm going to read the whole thing today. So if you want to stay tuned and listen to what this Cloward Pivan strategy is, it describes what's going on in Canada for the last decade plus of liberal domination in this province. In this country. And it's very disturbing. And, it doesn't come as a surprise to me, but it might come as a surprise to you. And I'm gonna read it. So it's on my tablet here, and I have to go through it. Hopefully that you take something away from this today that enlightens you and makes you aware of what the Liberal government and Mark Carney has been installed to do. And it specifically, in this write-up, it specifically targets Mark Carney specifically. So I'm going to read it verbatim, and we'll take it from there. Okay, this was it's from the Professionalist. I don't know what site this came from, but it says it gives you a warning. Warning: what is unfolding in Canada is not politics. It is not reform. It is a hostile takeover by global forces using one of the most sophisticated and destructive plans ever devised to collapse a free society from within. So that's how it starts. The plan is referred to as the Cloward Pivan strategy. The man they have chosen to complete this agenda is Mark Carney. Mark Carney was not elected, he was selected. I've said that many times. His loyalty is not to the Canadian people, it is to the World Economic Forum, the WEF, the United Nations, the Bank of International Settlements, and other unelected global institutions that aim to erase national sovereignty and individual freedom. So, just the first part, I hope it's ringing true to a lot of people in this country. Cloward Pivan strategy, in definition, the strategy aims to utilize militant anti-poverty groups, Antifa, to facilitate a political crisis by overloading the welfare system via an increase in welfare claims, forcing the creation of a system of guaranteed minimum income and redistribution income through the federal government. Universal basic income, standardized minimum wage rates. In 1966, Columbia University professors Richard Cloward and Francis Fox Pivan, and I believe they were married, developed an 8-point strategy to collapse a free nation from within intentionally. Their idea was to overwhelm the system through massive economic and social destabilization so that citizens would beg for authoritarian control in exchange for survival. That's what's going on here. All this I read today is ringing right down to the last letter. The strategy has now been adopted and weaponized by global financial elites and is being applied to Canada right now. Unfortunately, most Liberals and PPC voters are too dense to see this. Now, that might be a little harsh, but quite possibly they are too dense to see this. But it's not just being too dense to see it. It is being willfully ignorant. They don't want to see it. To choose the path that I've chosen, to choose the path that a lot of people on my side of the aisle have chosen, it's labor intensive, and it takes a lot of energy some days to go over this. Like, I could have read this from my house, but I like getting out into the woods, and that's my thing. It gets me motivated. It keeps me active within the urban forest. So that's why I come out and do it. I could have set this up on my laptop at home, but if you have never heard of the Cloward Pivan strategy, it does not matter. It is already being implemented for you. You are not imagining the chaos. It is designed to demoralize you, to confuse you, and to make you submit. Mark Carney is the chosen executor. Below are the 8 points of the Cloward Pivan strategy, along with concrete actions Carney has taken to implement each one. Number 1, overload and bankrupt the welfare system. In 2020, during the COVID-19 lockdowns, Carney publicly supported massive government stimulus spending, including the Canada Emergency Response Benefit, CERB, which gave more than 8 million Canadians free money with no strings attached. The program cost over 81 billion Canadian dollars. I didn't even know that. Carney, in July 2020, in a 2020 speech to the London School of Economics, called these types of stimulus packages essential tools for transition and praised the role of public finance in accelerating the shift to stakeholder capitalism. The Canadian COVID-19 lockdowns were not about public health. They were all about creating permanent dependency. The more individuals rely on government support, the more control the government has. Canada's debt has now reached more than $1.5 trillion. The system is being driven towards bankruptcy by design. And I've said that many times, and I use the term managed decline. And, you know, people that support Mark Carney, not only are they aware of this, they are instrumental in it. In July 2022, Carney's climate agenda began affecting Canadian energy producers when major banks stopped issuing loans to oil and gas firms unless they complied with net zero targets. With fuel prices soaring, Canadians now face historic inflation. Food banks across the country report record demand in Canada. The cost of groceries has increased from March 2020 to March 2025 approximately 30.2% in total. And some things are over 50, 60%. Carney knows these policies crush the middle class. That is the point. When individuals struggle to feed their families or fill their gas tanks, they stop resisting. Number 3, defund and destabilize law enforcement. On June 8, 2020, just days after the death of George Floyd in the United States, Carney wrote an op-ed in the Globe and Mail endorsing social movements that called for defunding police. In that article, he promoted the idea that institutions need to be reformed to serve social justice rather than law and order. His exact words were that the economy must become more inclusive and must reflect new social priorities. This is all in his book Values. It's exactly this. And he didn't release his the updated version of his book Values until after the election. It was some parts were taken out and revised. In Canada, this narrative led to police budget reductions in major cities, including Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. The result has been a significant rise in violent crimes, carjackings, and open drug use. I've witnessed it from coast to coast myself personally. As cities become less safe, public demand increases for technological surveillance, biometric security, and government monitoring. Carney has supported the digital ID infrastructure that will replace traditional policing. Algorithmic? Okay, I got it. Number 4. Control education to indoctrinate the next generation. Of course that's going on. That's been going on since I was in school. In October 2020, Carney became head of the Brookfield ESG Advisory Group, which has since partnered with the United Nations to fund youth education programs across North America. These programs are designed to train children and university students to accept climate compliance, equity mandates, and global governance as normal. In March 2023, the University of Toronto received millions in funding tied to Brookfield-backed ESG curriculum. These classes redefined economic freedom as dangerous and promote submissions to centralized digital control. The youth of Canada are no longer being educated, they are being conditioned. I've said that in many of my videos. Number 5, eliminate private property through regulation, taxation, and debt traps. Well, that's exactly what's going on with the collapse of the real estate market in Canada. Carney supports net zero home compliance. In April 2023, the Canadian Mortgage and Housing Corporation proposed mandatory energy audits for homes before sale. This policy was developed in part by the Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosures, which Carney chairs, naturally. Cedar's kind of a loud burning wood. These audits will be used to justify carbon taxes on homeowners, making it impossible for many families to sell or afford upgrades. At the same time, interest rate hikes driven by central banks have doubled mortgage payments since early 2022. Carney supports these hikes as necessary to curb inflation. The result is mass foreclosures. This is not mismanagement, this is extraction. Number 6, promote division through identity politics. Carney has repeatedly made public statements aligning with social justice narratives. In May 2021, he gave a speech at a public policy forum where he called for economic systems that serve racial justice, climate justice, and gender equality. These are not neutral goals. They are designed to divide individuals and pit them against one another based on race, gender, and ideology. That's what's 100% what's going on. While Canadians fight over perceived slights and identity labels, the real theft is happening quietly. Carney's controllers benefit from the chaos. I just said that, I think, in my last video, the video before. So if you're one of those lucky 20 people, I've actually recited so far everything that this Cloward Pivan strategy has outlined. I've recited, and I haven't even read it. I just read it this morning for the first time. Not even the whole thing. I just perused through it, and I knew I was going to do this video. The more fractured society becomes, the easier it is to dominate. Makes sense, right? Number 7, undermine faith and family to replace them with state loyalty. In 2019, Carney spoke at the Vatican in support of Council for Inclusive Capitalism, a group designed to unite global corporations, financial institutions, and the Catholic Church under a single moral economic framework. The Vatican. They can be greasy at times. The message was clear. Loyalty must shift from traditional institutions to a centralized system where moral authority is dictated by economic compliance. At the same time, Canadian government programs now incentivize children to bypass parental consent on gender decisions, vaccines, and personal health records. Carney supports these policies. They remove the parent and insert the state. Tell you, man, this is real evil stuff. Real evil. Number 8, create permanent dependency on the state through programmable money. This leads us to what's the UK's proposing right now. Carney is one of the most vocal international advocates for central bank digital currencies. In December 2019 speech at the Bank of International Settlements, Carney said that the future of money will be programmable and trackable and must support sustainable development. I don't know who came out the other day, but they said that that they want to go to automatic income tax filing in Canada. That was just like this week. In October 2023, the Bank of Canada began pilot testing a central bank digital currency. Carney is advising that effort. Once implemented, this programmable currency will allow the government to freeze accounts, limit purchases, and control every financial transaction. There will be no cash, no privacy, no freedom. This is the full Cloward Pivan strategy. These are not theories. These are documented facts. Now, what I just read to you is exactly, like I said at the start of this video, it's exactly what is transpiring in Canada, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, Germany, and I think even in Portugal. I'm not sure. I have a Portuguese buddy, and he goes over there and he tells me it's a mess over there. But anyhow, if that is not exactly what's happening in Canada to a T, I don't know what else better explains it than that, to be honest with you. So, you know, become educated on the Cloward Pivan strategy. Read up on it. You can find this. I went on before I left the house this morning. I went on and I seen videos of actually the two people. I think the woman is still alive. I think she's in her 90s, last I heard. But the guy, Cloward, he passed away in early 2000, and there are many videos. There are many videos of them talking in group forums, and they're saying exactly what I read there. This is unbelievable. Well, it's not unbelievable. It's unbelievable that it's in print. I thought this would be something that would be, you know, off the record, but it is on the record. So there you have it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave it in the comment section, and I'll get back to you. If you have further information to add to this, by all means, enlighten me. Enlighten, you know, the 20 to 25 viewers of my videos. They would love to know more about the destruction of Canada. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, wherever you are in the world.